It is a sad day for Ravens Nation after the Ravens suffer a heartbreaking loss to the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC Championship game. Look, this is tough. This is a tough pill to swallow. In a season that felt like the stars had aligned for this team, a team that really had no weakness. You know, we said it all year, all right, on this channel, and I saw a ton of other people, Ravens fans, say the only team that could beat this team is themselves, okay? And with that, I want to start off by saying, hats off to the Kansas City Chiefs. They came into M&T Bank Stadium, a tough place to play. We've seen all year, and before this year. They came into M&T Bank, and they did what they had to do. They played a clean game, and Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce didn't drop a single ball. They did what they had to do. The defense made some spectacular game-changing plays, and they got out of there with a win. So hats off to them. They absolutely deserve to win the game. I'm going to touch on a couple of smaller topics within the game and then get to what I think the problem was in this game. So might be a little longer video. I'm not sure yet, but quickly, I want to touch on the officials, the officiating in this game. It's been a big point of emphasis for a lot of people that I've seen, Ravens fans, talking about the officiating discrepancy, and you would not be wrong. Okay, obviously there were some questionable calls. The penalty discrepancy, the Chiefs 3 penalties for 30 yards, the Ravens 8 for 95. So obviously a huge difference there. My biggest issue with the officials, I think there was 2 missed calls on Isaiah Likely, 2 pass interferences late in the game. Okay, outside of that, I really cannot complain too much. Okay, the other complaint would be the taunting on Zay Flowers. Was it taunting? Yes. I can't complain because it was taunting. But Travis Kelce had gotten in the face of several Ravens players throughout the whole game, and nothing. There was nothing called there. So that would be my only issue. At least be consistent. I can live with the call, but be consistent on both sides. I'm not justifying Zay because absolutely that was a penalty. Zay knows that. What do you do? Okay. So many self-inflicted wounds. Every time the Ravens have lost a game this season, it's been because of self-inflicted wounds. And let's just quickly go through this list here. Starting off with some of the 8 penalties. Kyle Van Noy, unsportsmanlike conduct. Near the end of the first half, the Chiefs are pinned at their own 10-yard line. Less than 2 minutes left in the half. Could possibly get the ball back because it was going to be 2nd and 9 for the Chiefs. Potentially maybe get the ball back. If not, maybe we're only down 7 at half. Travis Kelce, again, yapping off. Kyle Van Noy isn't having none of it. Goes over to Travis Kelce and gives him a little headbutt. Okay? You can say Travis Kelce, this, that, and the other, but everyone knows Kyle Van Noy is a veteran in this league. He knows that is unsportsmanlike conduct. He cannot do that. In this type of game, you have to hold your composure. Period. End of story. So that put him down the field. Then a pass interference. If I'm not mistaken, that was the one where Mahomes got hit in the face. That was technically pass interference. I really cannot, or not pass interference, excuse me, roughing the passer. I cannot complain about that call. Okay, if it was the other way around and it was on Lamar, I would be screaming for a flag too. But what started that was the unsportsmanlike conduct. Stupid after the whistle penalties, completely avoidable, did not affect the game. But it did end up affecting the game. Okay, of course, Zay. I love Zay. Look, I'm still rocking the Zay here. I love Zay, and quite frankly, he was the only receiver that showed up in this game. Period. So we can say what you want. Zay made some game-altering errors on that one particular drive. I believe it was 54-yard pass play. Taunted the defender when he got up. And I've heard the argument, well, the defender was grabbing his legs. Look, Zay Flowers knows. You have to know. You cannot stand over the defender. I understand emotions are flying. It's the atmosphere of the game, everything on the line. I get it. But you got to know it's a penalty. You know that. You got to hold your composure. Okay? You could tell who had been in this situation and who hadn't. To me, the experience was a huge a factor in this game. You could tell the Kansas City Chiefs been there, done that. The Ravens, I think the pressure got to them, to be honest with you. I think top to bottom of this team, coaching staff, players, the pressure of the moment got to this team, and they folded. Absolutely. The fumble, look, it's easy to sit on my couch and scream, Zay, why didn't you just tuck the ball and go down? Hindsight, after we know how the play ended, absolutely, he should have done it. But I'm not going to absolutely flip the Zay Flowers just trying to score a touchdown at the goal line. I'm just not. Okay, I'm sorry. I know there's probably a lot of people that are upset about that. Obviously, if you could do it over, I'm sure he would not do that. Yeah, I wish he would have tucked it too, and they probably would have scored. But, you know, it was just a heck of a play by that defender, to be honest with you. I got to give credit to the defender there. So I'm sure Zay's not going to do that again, on a positive note. And then the next drive, Lamar Jackson throws into triple coverage. Like, what? You had 3 points in your back pocket. I can't. This is tough. This is tough. You have 3 points in your back pocket. Lamar Jackson tries to squeeze it into Isaiah Likely. Should it have been a pass interference? At the time, I didn't really see it. After seeing the replay, yes. Isaiah Likely absolutely got shoved in the back. But look, you cannot put this game on the line and leave it up to a call. A potential flag which you may or may not get. I'm sorry, you just can't. So we can all scream and smack our fists on the table and say it should have been a flag, but the ball should have never been thrown with 3 defenders right there. I'm sorry. I love Lamar. That's my quarterback. Always will be. But here I want to be objective and not just a fanboy. The objective truth is that was not Lamar Jackson's best performance. That was a terrible decision. He should have found another option or just got rid of the ball. Scrambled. I don't know. But trying to fit it in where there's 3 defenders, obviously, again, hindsight, terrible decision. The Ravens had chances time and time again, but they couldn't get out of their own way, quite frankly. But now that we're, this far into the video, I want to get to the real question that I have. And that is for Todd Monken. I'm not going to be on the fire Todd Monken train after this game. All right. And quite frankly, if you are on that, more power to you, to each their own. He's not going to get fired. So if that's what you're hoping for, it's not going to happen. Your best chance of Todd Monken not coming back is him taking another coaching position elsewhere. So if this game was enough, and I've seen some of you out there that are like, this guy needs to go. Like I said, I'm not in that group, but he's not going anywhere, quite frankly. The Ravens finished second in the regular season in scoring and led the league in rushing. He's not going anywhere. So, but I do have to ask the question, what in the world was that game plan? Like, literally throughout the game, like I'm still speechless. I'm sure you can tell. I'm speechless at that game plan and that play calling and that performance. I literally said to myself as the game was going on, I said out loud, I'm like, is this a joke? Like, what is happening right now? You have the league's best rushing offense. Best rushing team in the National Football League. Against a team that was not great against the run. Gave up, I think it was 184 yards to the Buffalo Bills just 1 week prior to this game. And the Ravens, it's like they tried to get too cute with it. I don't know. And this is why I say I think the pressure got to this team. the coaches. Because when they got down early, granted, they weren't down big. It was always within striking distance. But it's like they acted like they were down by 30 points. We can't run the ball. It's like after the first play of the game, they handed it to Justice Hill and got stuffed, I think, for no gain. It was like, okay, well, let's burn the running part of the playbook. We're done. We're not going to do this anymore. Lamar, get that shoulder ready. We're going to... In that, in my opinion, is why the time of possession was such a major, or had such a huge discrepancy. The Kansas City Chiefs had the ball for 37 minutes, 30 seconds. The Ravens leaves them with 22 minutes, 30 seconds. I don't know how many games you're going to win when you lose a turnover battle 3-0, and you have 15 minutes less of possession time. It's awful. It's awful. So I want to know what was going through Todd Monken's head. That you had strength on their weakness and you completely bailed. You completely gave up on the running game. I for the life of me, I don't understand. Look, these are stats. This happened. Gus Edwards had 3 carries for 20 yards. That's 6.7 yards a carry. That's pretty freaking good. Justice Hill, 3 carries for 3 yards. That's not good, but again, Gus has kind of been the feature back all year long. I don't know why he wasn't getting the ball. And Zay Flowers got 2 carries for 4 yards. And Lamar Jackson got 8 carries, scrambles, and of course the one designed for 54 yards. Why? I don't understand. When I could have thrown something through my TV when it was 3rd and 1, later on midway through the fourth quarter when they were trying to drive back, and Lamar Jackson dropped back for a pass. I'm telling you, I'm speechless. I cannot believe what I even witnessed in this game. Hand the ball to Gus Edwards and get a freaking yard. It's almost guaranteed. What are we doing? On top of that, I thought after the first half of the Texans game, and this has been the downfall of Todd Monken this year. Not the downfall necessarily, but the problem that I've seen, I haven't really said it. He gets so focused, it seems, on just dropping Lamar Jackson back to pass. That's great when it's there, like against Miami, perfect. But when teams are bringing heat and they're getting home, bail. Get down to the quick passing game, the screens, the slants, the RPOs. The difference between the first half of the Chiefs and Texans game, the divisional round, to the second half is night and day. Why is that? First half, Lamar Jackson was just sitting back there trying to throw the ball, and the Texans were not letting him. They're like, we're not going to let you sit back there all day and beat us. We're sending pressure. The Ravens could not move the ball. You all saw that. Second half, they came out and got the ball out of his hands fast, and they moved the ball at will. On top of that, they had their best running attack in the league to help keep the clock going. And right on the defense, they had that to lean on like they did all season. In this game, though, there was no adjustment. It was just like, well, no, we're just going to do this anyways. We're just going to keep sitting back there and play actioning 10 times in a row and throwing to one of the league's best secondaries. Zay was the only receiver that was a factor in this game. Okay? Nelson Aguilar, 1 catch, 39 yards. That was a big play. But besides that, where was he for 3.5 quarters? Justice Hill, 4 catches. Odell Beckham Jr., 3 catches. Again, all came late. Was not a factor through the first 3.5 quarters of the game. Gus Edwards, a catch. Isaiah Likely, 2 catches. He should have been featured. He has emerged the last several weeks. He is a star in the making. He is a dude. He needed to be featured in this game. What was Todd Monken thinking? I digress. Mark Andrews, 2 catches, 15 yards. I didn't expect a ton out of him because it's obviously his first game back in I don't even know how many weeks. I didn't expect him to be 100%, so I didn't expect him to be completely featured. But Isaiah Likely should have been. Rashad Bateman, 1 catch, 2 yards. What happened to this team? I can't... If I was to put the lion's share of the blame on anyone, it would be Todd Monken and John Harbaugh. Because John Harbaugh should have demanded that the ball get ran. not just sit Lamar back there to just throw and throw and throw and throw. Utterly ridiculous and, quite frankly, unacceptable, in my opinion, of course. I want to know what you guys think. This video has dragged on way longer than I thought it would. If you've made it this far, comment your thoughts on this game. I want to know what you guys think. Is there anything that I missed? Anything you want to add to what I said? I want to know in the comments. Guys, this is the beginning of a long, grueling offseason that started way earlier than I hoped it would. So now we get to see freaking Taylor Swift in the Super Bowl. I can't do this. You were supposed to save us, guys. Why? I can't. I need to go before I just lose my mind. But if you're still watching at this point, thank you so much for tuning in. And I will see you all in the next video covering this long off-season, free agency, draft, all that stuff. Like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you all in the next one. Go Ravens!